Hey everyone, it's Chay on the mic. We're going beyond politics. Hope you're psyched. Not just policies, not just plans. We're talking dreams, hobbies, and life's other strands. We'll meet the leaders behind the scenes, uncover the stories in between, the laughs, the quirks, the passions they hide, their personal moments, unfiltered and wide. Ready or not, let's get underway. This is Beyond Politics with Chay. Hi, it's Chay. Welcome back. You're with me on another episode of Beyond Politics with Chay, where we delve deep into the lives and personalities of some of our favourite elected leaders. Today, I'm joined by someone who is breaking the barriers and challenging the political map in Sydney's southwest. A conservative at heart but new generation mindset, Tina Ayyad is a proud Muslim woman, a daughter of migrants, and a blue advocate in a storm of red seats. Tina, thank you so much for joining me today and for bringing a very, very special guest.
Thank you, Chay. It's wonderful to be here along with little Eden Rose, who's spending the day with Mum.
Hello, Eden. Would you please introduce yourselves? You and your mum? I think she's taken that question on notice.
Yes, I think she has.
Okay, let's go straight into our icebreaker questions. You ready? Starting with the first question, Tina, what is one thing that people don't know about you?
That's quite interesting, Chay, because I'm actually an open book. I mean, with me, what you see is what you get. A lot of people know everything about me, actually, which is quite funny.
Refreshing, actually. So I'm going to get you off your feet a little bit more now. A common compliment you receive all the time.
Oh, wow. That's got to be thank you for being so human and empathising with other people that are going through tough times.
Very nice. So if Eden was to answer that for Mum, what is one thing that people say about Mum all the time? Do you need more time for that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you, so make sure you hold that. Hold that in your mind. I'll be back. And Tina, a creative question now. If you could introduce a feature to an iPhone, whether that be an iPhone or a Samsung, what would that be and why?
Okay, Chay, you got me there because I actually don't even think I'm using my current iPhone to its full capability, right? There's probably features I'm not even aware of.
So if you could introduce something then maybe as a parent, let's say, what would that be? A parent hack.
A parent hack. Goodness, no apps whatsoever.
No
Let's go back
apps.
old school, just SMS, email, and make a phone call.
I think that would be a little bit hard to introduce. Eden, what do you think of that? Good or no? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Down. Honesty is the best policy. Okay, let's delve deep into your childhood now. You come from, obviously, a migrant family. We touched on that before. Share with us your personal journey both in Australia and obviously as now a elected leader and a politician.
Yeah, so I'm a born and bred Sydney-sider, one of three children. I'm the only girl and I'm the baby, so I have two older brothers. We grew up in South Sydney and southwestern Sydney, so we floated around a little bit. Those places in Sydney, of course, are very, very dear to my heart. My grandfather lived in South Sydney practically his whole life in Australia once he migrated, so we spent a lot of time around that area. My mum went to Cogra High School. She came out here as a young girl with my grandfather. So I have lots of fond memories, and I know many of the families around South Sydney and the southwest.
Definitely where your roots are. What was that driving force behind your push into politics then? You know, I read into your story, I can see definitely that inspiration from your homeland. But what was that push here in Sydney, growing up in the south, that really moved you into politics?
It was definitely the need and the belief in social justice. So it's interesting that I think since my childhood I've always been aware of social justice. Of course, in different ways. I mean, as an adult, you look at the world with fresh eyes, and as a politician and elected official, you also look at the world with fresh eyes. But definitely social justice is what has driven me to politics. And I think after I served on local council, just the ability to see things come to fruition, to make your area better, to hear from the community, it's really fulfilling.
Amazing. And so if I was to maybe pick out one story, perhaps it could be while you were at council, was there any policy area that was really close to your heart?
Well, it's definitely the areas of social justice, I have to say. Currently now across the state, the number one issue is the cost of living crisis. And I can say in my electorate office, and second issue would be housing. We are in a housing crisis, and as an elected official, you see that day in, day out, where people are coming in and they're just at their wits' end, or they're about to be evicted, or they've been on the Housing Commission waiting list for over 20 years.
So it's challenging. So you're coming from that family perspective, and obviously you have your daughter in today. And Eden, we might cut to you for a very, very quick question. How is it like working with mum today? What's the best part of today?
She bought me chips and chicken.
She bought you chips and chicken. Can I ask where from?
Do you know where we were? Where's mum's office?
Wattle Grove.
Yeah. That's right.
Wattle Grove. Very nice. Okay, moving now, Eden. So we might get you to jump in and help your mum with some of the questions. I know it's very, very hard today because, you're in this studio, but we're going to help you answer the questions as well. So, Tina, let's move on now to more of a policy-focused question.
Sure.
You've never been shy about being a Muslim woman, especially one within the Liberal Party, which is a change. In an area that's traditionally Labor, what spoke to you personally about the Liberal Party and especially those conservative values? What appealed to you and what brought you to your current approach and philosophy?
Well, being who I am, I think that I am a natural conservative. The Liberal Party's policies, they're not only family focused, but they're economically focused. And for our country to progress, or for our great state to progress, we need great fiscal management and we need policies of social justice. But the difference with the Liberal Party is we believe in a hand up rather than a hand out. So we need to really equip people and assist them to reach their full potential or their goals rather than give them a handout. And that's something I truly believe in.
Another focus within the conservative area of the Liberal Party is obviously faith. And that's a tricky one, especially in challenging times like what we're seeing today with the conflict overseas. Muslim voters often lean left, and that's traditionally known. What do you think drives your story and that contradiction?
Well, that's interesting because the Liberal Party, it's what we refer to as a broad church. And within the Liberal Party, there's people from all walks of life with all, differing views, different opinions, and where it's always tolerated and accepted. And I have to say, until now, I've had a wonderful experience being a Liberal. My colleagues are very respectful. They're very understanding. And to date, I haven't had any issues. And I think that the Liberal Party really, really needs to communicate what we stand for as a party. And, we are the party of the forgotten people. And I think we need to go back to that, who we are and what we stand for. And we need to share that with communities, all communities, including, ethnic communities, multicultural communities, migrant communities.
Now, this is going to be a little bit of a controversial question, so feel free to answer it as you wish.
Yeah.
You break the mould when it comes to the Liberal Party, especially in the territory that you represent. Have you ever questioned, as a Muslim woman, whether the Liberal Party truly reflects your identity? and that space for your voice? Is there any moment?
No, I'd have to say no. I mean, I joined up as a young Liberal. I was a member of the Menai Young Liberals. And, the moment I read the We Believe statement, I knew that the Liberal Party was for me, because I agreed with it, every single part of that statement. And we are truly the party of the forgotten people. And as I said previously, we are a broad church, and there are many, many people within the Liberal Party that share my views, and they also break the mould, if you like to use the terminology that you used, Chay. They do break the mould, but the difference is they're not on the front lines, they're not an elected official, they may be behind the scenes or just a member in the party.
Yeah, it's really good to know. And just having you here in the studio is amazing enough, and bringing your beautiful daughter. I have a question for you again from all of us here at Oz Arab Media. What do you like most about the Liberal Party, Eden? Fine. If you can do one thing for Mum today to help her, what would that be? What does she need the most help with in the office?
Doing her work.
Doing her work. And would you help her by using her phone, using her laptop?
Using her laptop.
Very nice. How will that go down with your staffers in the office? Is Eden
no,
allowed on your device?
She's not going on the laptop. She can take the phone. The apps come in handy.
Keen. She's keen though, which is absolutely amazing. I have one more question for Mum, and then we can ask you another one if you're okay with that, Miss Eden. Perfect. Okay, now we're on this discussion on faith. Now, sharing your faith is often challenging, both when we look at Labor and Liberal. It gets people in a lot of trouble sometimes, or they're branded a certain way. What can Australia do in terms of changing or restructuring their policy settings to normalise the visibility of faith, whatever that may be? What's your view on that?
Well, I don't think policy actually has a place with faith. I think that faith is something that's really intrinsic and personal. It's between the individual and their creator. And I don't think that policy should be driven by faith. Yes, it should be moral, it should be ethic, and of course morals and ethics are derived from faith. But that I believe is as far as it goes. You use the morals and ethics of faith to drive good policy that delivers social justice, rather than have a policy regarding faith in itself.
Yeah, it's a hard one, and obviously thank you for sharing your view. Being such a strong voice in the area, I think you are an inspiration for a lot of people, especially women, whether that be in the Liberal Party or those outside the Liberal Party, young, old, growing, maturing. Now we're going to move into our rapid fire section. So these are 5 questions, Tina, 5 very quick questions. I'm going to ask you. I might ask Miss Eden as well. I want the first thing that comes to mind. So you don't need to think about it, just the first thing that comes to mind. Are you both ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Okay, so policy discussion's over. I'm going to start with Tina. What is your favourite movie and why?
Probably Avatar. It has a lot of underlying meanings, and when it came out, when it hit the cinemas, I actually went and watched it twice.
Wow, nice.
And then when it came out on DVD, I bought it, so that must mean I loved it. And the second time I watched it, I actually picked up a lot of underlying messages that I had missed in the first, when I first watched it.
Very nice. Miss Eden, your favourite movie?
Stitch and Lilo.
Really? Why?
Because I like Stitch.
I like Stitch too. Very, very funny. Okay, very nice. Now, this is a hard one. I get some very left field answers sometimes, but it's always good to know. What is your favourite song? Do you have a favourite song?
I don't really have a favourite. Look, I do listen to music. You know, I put the radio on. I like a lot of old school music. But A standout would have to be with musicians, of course, Fairuz, the soul
very
of
nice.
Lebanon, and Abdul Halim Hafiz, of course.
Oh,
I grew up listening to both of them. So, and, you know, every now and again I do find myself kind of downloading their songs and listening to it on the, you know, on the Bluetooth in the car and just singing along.
That's nice to know. Thank you. And Miss Eden, a favourite song?
Ed Sheeran
Ed
Shivers.
Sheeran. Is he your favourite person in the world? I think I heard something from Mum about an Ed Sheeran concert.
You want to go see Ed Sheeran when he comes to Sydney?
I have to actually admit, I have seen Ed Sheeran, and he was absolutely amazing. Okay, this is going to be a tough one. Favourite meal?
Meal. Oh no, Shay, this is
Yeah.
easy. Come on,
Easy?
it's got to be what anab.
Oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure Martin Zeta said the same
Oh,
thing.
did he?
Must be a liberal thing.
Yeah, you know, I think what anab and Sheikh al Mahshi. And when I say Sheikh al
You have to
Mahshi,
explain what Sheikh al Mahshi
okay,
is.
it's got to be like the kusa, the capsicum. Mum usually does it with bet and jan. I'm not really a massive fan of bet and jan. I mean, I'll have a little bit.
Which is eggplant.
Yeah, the eggplant.
So more the zucchini stuff,
Yeah.
capsicum. Yum, that is
Yeah.
a meal.
Yeah.
That is a feast. Okay, Miss Eden, what is your favourite meal?
Goose and one anab.
Like Mum. Exactly like Mum. You know what? That would be really easy come birthday planning time. Don't you think? That's very nice. Okay, this one gets people in some trouble. What is your favourite cafe or restaurant? It could be in your area, in Sydney, or anywhere around the world.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. So we love, of course, Lebanese cuisine, but my family also loves Italian cuisine. So we tend to kind of just hop around and try different Italian restaurants.
Nice.
I mean, there are a couple that stand out, but I don't want to come across that I'm giving some kind of endorsement while I'm on air.
Fine. Areas then, because I think everyone in Sydney would love to know what are the top areas that you've gone for. Maybe some nice pizza.
Look, it's got to be
Just say it. Tina.
Machiavelli's. They're in town, and probably Grappa out at Leichhardt.
Very nice. See, great recommendations. Do you have any favourite pizza toppings, Miss Eden? What's your favourite pizza to order?
Cheese pizza.
Cheese pizza. Very, very sophisticated palate there. And what is one of your favourite restaurants or a cafe that you visit all the time? Do you remember the name?
Yeah.
Really? Would you like to share that with us?
The restaurant is Fratelli.
Oh, Fratelli's.
That's
very nice.
another Italian one. So
Put
we
yourself
actually,
a trendsetter on your hands.
yeah, we actually had. There's a couple of great Italian restaurants inside the electorate and just outside the electorate that we also go to. So we've got a really, really large Italian community. And lots of them came out, you know, as pioneers, and they've been here for generations, and a lot of them are restaurateurs, and they do run some great local businesses, which we also frequent quite often.
That would be a great benefit of living in your area, and I could see that Miss Eden there is probably giving me a quiet little signal to wrap up. Is that right, Miss Eden? Should we wrap up? Okay, I'm going to ask you, Mum, one question. I'd love for you to answer the same thing. So, Miss Tina, now, what is one piece of advice you'd like to leave with our viewers, or a personal mantra that you'd like to share?
Always show up, stand up, and speak up.
Love it. Love it. And Miss Eden, is there words of wisdom that you could share with us, something that you'd like us to know about life?
Be happy all the time.
That is a very well articulated response. Thank you very much, Miss Eden and Tina, for joining me today on Beyond Politics with Shay. Before I wrap up, I want to leave our viewers with a very special message from Tina, who is going to share her best contact details on how to best get in contact with her after the show. So what's the best way, Tina?
Thanks, Shay. So my electorate covers East Liverpool, and we go all the way out to the Shire. Our office is located at Wattle Grove Shops, not far from the Coles there. We're just in a little shopping complex. Very easy to find. You can contact us via telephone and via email, and our details are readily available online.
Thank you so much today, and for all our viewers watching today, until next time, stay connected with the team and stay safe.